Hey guys, DrDecks here. Today I want to talk to you about this little tiny cordless DeWalt pancake compressor. I saw this out of the box and I was like, it seemed like kind of a joke actually to me. But after putting this thing through its paces, I was actually quite impressed. So if you like this video today or you get something out of this review, please click that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that bell icon to be notified when we are putting out new content, which is usually 3 days a week. Alright, so first impressions of this little compressor. It's super compact, it's fairly rugged, it has its own little cage around it. The model number is DCC2520, and I just took this for what it is. DeWalt sent me this compressor to review, and I was like, doesn't seem like it holds a lot of air. It doesn't seem like, you know, it's only got one fitting for air hose. So we actually took this compressor, put it on a three-way, and just said, okay, let's shoot some hidden fasteners with it. And this compressor was able to keep up with one gun, no problem. We actually didn't end up running 3 on it. We were really impressed with the fact that we could run 1. Some of the features of it, there's an on-off switch right here. Okay, they have a gauge that you can dial it up to max, but usually we're running in the 110 to 120 range, so we're probably running this about 3/4 capacity. It has a bleeder valve right here that you can bleed out if you need to, and then there's also on the back there's a bleeder to drain the tank on a daily basis so the tank doesn't rust out. Okay, that's kind of important. So what happens here is it'll tell you, there's a gauge right here that tells you how much pressure's in the tank, and then it'll go up to a certain amount. I'm assuming about 120 to 150 psi, and then you can dial this up to, it looks like about 140 psi. We usually don't need to run that hot. I don't plan on running any pneumatic tools except for guns off of this. I wouldn't be running like a die grinder or a buffer or polisher or something. I just don't think this thing would keep up with it. But I will use this a lot. The one reason I will use this is because I have a lot of trailers on my property that are several hundred feet away from my big air compressor, and just trying to keep tires pumped up between a boat trailer and a tool trailer, and trying to get things moved over here with a flat tire versus being able to take this out to the site and actually just pump something up. And that's what we're going to do today as part of this review. I'm going to show you guys kind of what I'm getting at with this little guy. So I happen to have a 10 amp hour battery that we used in a cordless lawnmower situation a while back. So basically, and this thing's pretty light, you know, you can just pick it up and move it, right? So the 10 amp hour battery, it's got 3 bars on it. At the end of our demonstration, we'll check the bar level again and see if we still have 3 bars or 2 or 1 or 0 or whatever. So basically, to get the compressor going, you have to, there's a little on-off switch right here. So I'm going to turn that on. I'm going to dial my pressure into, let's make it 110 pounds, because that's usually a fairly common pressure for us as deck builders to use, okay? Sometimes when we're running air guns, like framing guns, we'll run that at max. But I'm going to turn this on. I don't know how long this is going to take to, should we time it? I'm just going to turn it on and see what happens. All right, so that took a couple minutes to pump up. So now that it's pumped up, I'm just gonna, what I did was I just hooked a air hose with a inflator valve on it. We're going to bleed this off and see how, when it kicks back in. So we're asking it to deliver 110 pounds of air. Oh, this became a lot harder to turn once the air pressure is full in the compressor. So that's interesting, because you can hear it when I dial this down. You can hear it bleed off a little bit. And then I wonder if you listen real closely, you really can't tell when you're dialing it up. If I dial it up to max, sometimes on air compressors you can kind of hear the valve working. We'll keep it at 110 pounds. So right now in the tank, we have 110 pounds as well. I'm going to bleed this off just to see where it kicks in at. I'm assuming around 80 or 90 pounds it'll kick back in. Here, I'll use this. I think it's kicking off around 90 pounds and it pumps back up to 120 pounds. So I'm gonna try to bleed it off again and let's get clarification on that. All right, so I'm gonna bleed it off with this bleeder valve and I'm pretty sure it's gonna kick back in at 90 pounds, but let's see what happens. All right, so basically there you go. This compressor is gonna cycle a lot if you're trying to use this for heavy duty use. I think you probably could run one finish gun or one framing gun off of this. It will cycle a lot. We'll get more into testing this as time goes on. I don't have any framing guns here that I can use to test that, but I do have this air nozzle, so let's go see if we can pump up some tires with it and how well it does that. All right, so let's go outside and check it out. All right, guys, we've gone remote out into the boneyard, and I have this auger, and this is kind of a example of what I think this compressor is really capable of as far as something that you could find very useful if you have a lot of tires to pump up all the time. I have a flat tire here with 0 pounds of air in it, okay? And we've got the compressor, it's aired up and ready to go. So I'm gonna just try to fill this tire and see how long it takes. All right, so I was able to put 25 pounds of air into this tire pretty quickly. Even though you can see that the compressor's cycling quite a bit, it definitely made quick work out of this small little tire. Let's see how long it takes to drop, let's say 5 pounds into a bigger, like my trailer tires, which are right behind us. So we'll step back up and try one of those real quick. We have 60 pounds of air in this tire right now, which is kind of maxed out, but I'm gonna see if I can dump another 5 pounds into it with this compressor. We're gonna just, it's on, and I maxed out the air on it to see if we can get another 5 pounds. Usually once you're up to pressure on a tire like this, it takes longer to put more air into it. So I'm kind of curious to see how this does. And this valve, this gauge right here isn't working so hot, but we'll see if what we can do. Sounds like it's going in. Wow. All right, so just in that amount of time, we were able to dump 10 pounds in, so now this tire has 70 pounds of air, which actually, again, kind of surprises me. Even though the compressor cycles quite a bit, it is delivering the air that I'm asking it to give to whatever purpose I'm using it for. So in our next review, I'll bring this compressor to the job site and we'll start with being conservative and run like one framing gun on it or something like that and see how it performs compared to maybe some of our other cordless guns and things like that. Just depends on what your air needs are for your particular application. One thing I forgot to do really quick was just check the bars on the battery. We only ran this thing about 10 minutes. On a 10 amp hour battery, there's still 3 bars. So, you know, you're gonna get some lifespan out of these batteries with this cordless compressor. So if you like what you saw today, guys, please don't forget to click that subscribe button. Hit that bell icon to be notified when we're putting out fresh content. Don't forget to like our videos and leave a comment below if you're inclined to do so. Thanks for watching. Have a rainy day.